Good afternoon, everyone. Vanessa coming back at y'all with another video. So this is just a rainy day Sunday. If y'all can see outside, we have a rainy, gloomy day, which honestly, those are the kind of days that I like. So what I decided to do today, because my plans did not work out, I am going to focus on a couple of my plants. Well, not a couple, a few of my plants that need a little bit of extra help or need to be moved out of their pots into a bigger one. So if you are interested, just hang around and take a look at how I nurture my plants. Okay, so the first one I have is this little guy right here. As you can tell, he has some growth to him, but he doesn't seem to be doing much. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go around and clean him up a little bit, take off all the little dead leaves that he has and make him look a little neater, and see if that will transfer the energy from these dead leaves over to the growth and help him concentrate on that. So then if we move him to the side, I also have this fella here. This is a succulent that I brought from Lowe's. I'm gonna clean them up a little bit, get some of this cat hair and dust off of him. And it looks like he's ready for a bigger pot. He hasn't done much growth, but we don't want it to be because of the pot. And I do have bigger pots, bigger terracotta pots, so it's not going to hurt just to move him a size bigger. And then this fella here, which I am so sad about, he has died on me. I'm not sure what happened. I was feeding him regularly, giving him water. He didn't make it, so I'm just going to cut him down, keep the root, and see if it's just because of the weather that he's just decided to sleep on me or something. So I'm gonna put him to the side and see what happens, because this was one of my favorite plants that I have. And then this fellow over here, as I mentioned in my prior videos, he doesn't seem to be getting any growth on him. He just he'll give me a leaf, and then the older one will die off. And this is exactly what happened. My prior video, I had a longer leaf up here, and as soon as this baby opened up, sorry about that, my screen went blank and I thought that it was a battery, but it was not. All I had to do was touch the screen. I'm using my son's GoPro, so hopefully this will give you a better quality video, and I want to give you a good content. So again, he actually right here is the one that died. So I'm going to clean him up. It looks like he's standing up pretty good. See if I can release this one from the hook and see if he'll stand up by himself and without any support, and see what happens with that. I don't have a potting mat. I've been wanting to get one. I've seen one on Amazon. I actually have it in my cart saved. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring a bigger terracotta pot, some soil. Now I do have some recycled soil that I'm going to use because, as I mentioned before, I want to use a different potting medium. I want to try to get away from the dirt, the soil, and go more for the coconut husk and the perlite. And what is the other mix? I think it's more airy, not so much soil, because I think that might be a reason why my plants aren't doing as well. So I brought my tools here. I have my little soil shovel. I have 3 sizes, but at the moment I do not know where my medium and small one are, so I'm just going to use this. My recycled soil that I have put in here, and also a bigger terracotta pot. So what I'm going to do first in this recycled soil is, what I try to do is I try to get all the, sorry about that, I said try twice. All the rocks, because I do reuse these rocks here. Although it doesn't hurt to have them in the soil, it helps out as well, just to give a little bit more aeration to it. But I try to get as many as I can out, but it's impossible. It's just regular potting soil from Home Depot, and I really do want to elevate the soil that I use, the planting medium that I use, because I believe the plants deserve that. And I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube. Wild Fern is one that I've seen, and I do like her potting soil mixture. Like I said, it's part coconut, part perlite, and some other things that she puts in there. And I really do like it. And I did find them on Amazon, the ingredients. So That's something else that I have separated into my cart and am going to purchase sooner rather than later. Bring it up a little bit to the top, okay, and just making a little divot here for the baby. Now I'm gonna try to get the decorative rocks off the top, and all I do is I just shimmy them out. No big deal. She's well rooted in there. She's not gonna get hurt. Just shimmying it out. Now I usually do it, of course, with 2 hands, but I am holding the camera at the moment, so I am just going to work with that and just get her out as much as I can. If I need to move them around a little bit, I will. Just get the decorative rocks out of there, and we'll use these on top of the plant. Let's see. Oh, look at that. There's a little baby here, so I'm going to be extra gentle. Let's see how she feels in here. She actually feels pretty dry, and I just watered her. I'm watering them once a week, and they still get pretty dry. Let me get her out of the pot, and I will be right back with her out. Literally right after I put my camera down and I went to go pull her out, she came out easily. So as you can see, I already had some mixture of the rocks in there with her, so that helped her out a little bit. So I'm just going to just loosen her up a little bit, because she actually feels really dry, and really her soil feels really tough. So I'm not going to do it much. I don't want to move her root system, damage your root system too much. So what I'm going to do, let me go do this again. Make a little divot in there just to place her down in. Okay. Push her down just a little bit. You see that? Okay. Now we're going to get some more soil and fill her up. Fill her up on the sides here. Slowly. We don't need this here. So just pat her down a little bit, strain her up again. Not really pack down the soil, but just put it down so there's no air bubbles or spaces in there. Wanna cover her up completely. Now the soil does look a little dry, but that's because it's just been sitting out. So again, I'm just putting in the soil, fixing her, pushing her down a little bit, not too much, just enough to be able to settle her in nicely. Put her in here again. I don't want to put too much on the top. You don't want to be too far up. You don't want the soil to be too far up. So I'm just going to shimmy it a little bit over here and here. Okay. Let's see how she looks. Perfect. So now what we're going to do, what I usually do is I'm just going to get some of the rocks, decorative rocks that were in her already, on top of her already, and just sit them on and fix it. That way when I water her, as you all know, her soil won't be disturbed too much when she gets watered. Hopefully pretty soon I'll be able to post a video of my first process of mixing the new potting medium that I am so excited to start using. For example, this plant right here, when I got her off Facebook Marketplace, prior owner had her in a clear cup with this really rocky perlite mixture, and she was doing so well, and I just thought it was so beautiful because you can really just look and see the root system as it's growing, and I really liked it. But she was getting too many roots, so I just had to get her out of there. Hopefully this is not too much of a shock to her. What kind of difference in size is it? One or two sizes bigger than what she had? I think that'll be good, because I do want to see some growth in her. Another baby up here, the one down here. I brought some water for this guy here because, like I said, he did feel a little dry. So I'm just going to water him quickly here. Get that soil nice and wet. for him. I don't see too much drainage in the bottom, so he's pretty thirsty. This one was thirsty. Now, I want to give a shout out to a subscriber of mine, one of my first subscribers, which I'm very excited to have, Skrill, I think 109, I believe. They asked what type of rock I was using on top, and it's a rock that I purchased from Home Depot. And actually, it was a rock that I bought by mistake. I wanted a pebble rock, but I wanted enough of the rock to have for all my plants. So I didn't want to buy a small little bag and just be able to top decorate a few of my plants. I wanted an abundance of rock for a reasonable price. And so I chose this rock, and it's actually very affordable. I think it was like a 2-3 pound bag of rock for like $5-6, maybe not even that. I was actually surprised. I bought it online, chose it online, and went to go pick it up curbside. And when I saw it, when she came out with it, and I had about 2 bags, thinking that they were going to be these small little bags of river rock, but actually it wasn't. It was a big 3-5 pound bag of rock. And the only thing with it is that it's very dusty, it's very dirty. So what I did was I had to, for the first time, wash it through and get all that dust off of it. But it does great. It does not come up when I come to water the plants. It stays put, and it's done well for me. And I actually went through my 2 bags of rock already. But as you can see, almost all my house plants have that type of rock on top. And I just think it makes it look nice and neater. It also helps with the soil. You don't have soil running off out your pot when you're watering it. It stays still. It stays put. Okay, so for this one, I don't have to do much with. I'm just going to leave as is. I'm just going, this is the growth that I was talking to y'all about. She's still going. I think it's like grass, honestly. I don't know what kind of growth that is. I'm going to let it do its thing. I usually pull it out, but this time I'm like, I'm just going to let it be. So basically all I'm going to have to do is pull out this dead leaf that is no longer alive, as you can tell. Now I do have some support on it with this floral tape, and it doesn't seem to be bothering it much. So honestly, that's all I'm going to use. There's no reason for me to have such a long dowel in this pot anymore, since they have all died down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace it with a regular bamboo stick. Just something that could help it support it a little bit better. Again, you guys, I'm doing this with one hand because of the camera. I'm trying to be very gentle here. But let's see. Well, there you go. Doing pretty well, I would say. I'm going to pull him out to cover him back up. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't have covered up that hole there. Because what I'm going to use is I'm going to use a bamboo stick. And it's just a regular bamboo stick, chopstick, whatever you want to call it. And like I said, there was already a hole in there, so I'm not damaging any roots or anything. I have these little clips. You can use these. I got these off the dollar store. As you can tell, they're not very good quality. I'm not sure why it's lopsided like that. But this one right here. But all it is for it to hold your plant in place. Now this is such a sensitive and fragile plant that I know this plant doesn't need support because this is the way it is naturally. But I just like to give it a little bit of support because of how many plants I have. I can't afford it to be dangling too far out because I don't want it to get either snagged by my cat thinking it's a toy or anything. So I really can't go much higher than this because of the baby, unless I just clip these two very gently like this. Now I'm not hurting it. I'm just giving a little support. As you can see, it's here. It's just sitting here. It's not clamped anywhere. And the clamp is actually just holding on to the bamboo stick. As you can tell, I brought my coffee here. Succulents. obviously. Okay, so something I wanted to mention to y'all. It's actually funny. My little skull man here, as much as I like it for decoration, I have also noticed, yeah, he lost his arm. It's actually over there in another one of my plants. I found it and I was like, there's a random arm just floating around. Now I know where it came from. I just stuck it in there. I think that's hilarious. So, like I was saying, my skeleton, as much as I like it for decoration because I have an obsession for skulls, he actually helps me scare my kitten off my plants. It's hilarious. I have a bird feeder up there on my window, and I have my birds come, and my cat, as soon as he spots them, he does not care that I have all these plants on here. He will jump through all of them, try to get those birds. And this plant right here, I have her sitting here. He was on the floor about to do his psycho jump to get the birds that he won't be able to get. And oh, here we go. You see that? They were flying. They saw me. I scared them away. I feel so bad when I do that. He was about to make his psycho jump onto all my plants and bring them all down, and he somehow spotted my skeleton, and he freaked out, jumped back so far, and he just took off. So that was it for the jump. So it helps me, my little scarecrows on my plant. So this fellow, I'm gonna put him back. Also, I'm gonna put him here, and maybe I'm gonna move him forward. He's a little too close to the grow lights. Let's see. Okay, I have my pots here in a cup. I'm gonna move that over, and I'm gonna maneuver some stuff around. Put him here. This one back here, and keep this one up front. Like this. You can tell she's getting her babies. More babies over here. Now I got this plant also off of Facebook Marketplace, and when she came, she was small, but she had her babies at the tips of her leaves, and she was beautiful. As soon as I moved her from her nursery pot onto, I believe it was a different pot, not this one, they all fell. All the babies just fell off. I was finding little babies everywhere on the floor, and I was trying to put them back in. I would put them back in. Oh my gosh. Look at this, you guys. This is why you never throw away a succulent leaf. Is that focused? Because it will sprout. Let me see. You never throw a succulent leaf away. Never. They absolutely will come back. Now, I'm not going to move this one from where it was at because it seemed to like it. But, as you can tell, she's growing. That's absolutely beautiful. I love it. Again, I'm not sure what happened. He was doing fine. It was only this leaf, but it wasn't giving me any other leaves. So what I'm going to do is, honestly, I'm just going to cut it down. I am very confident, not in my ability, but I am very confident in my plant's ability to recover. For prime example, this fella here, I cut him down completely, and he's coming back slowly, but he is. So I do have faith in him that he will come back. So I haven't invested in cutting shears or plant shears. So I'm just going to bring some basic scissors and cut him here. Now, I will not move his roots. I will leave him in this pot because that's the home he knows, and it's easier for him to come back to that soil faster, I believe, than if I move him around. Again, example here. I cut him down, never moved him, and look, he's sprouting little leaves. Absolutely adorable. Now look at this girl. Now that I'm here, she is just going crazy. Now I do grab her a little bit. She's also very, very sensitive. Very sensitive. Now when they do start getting crazy like that, another YouTuber that I've followed, sorry, I can't remember her name, but I will put her name down below. Her YouTube channel, I love her. She has one of these and it was growing out of control too. So what she did is she just basically plucked them out, and they're easy to pluck out. And to control the way they're growing, and so because we want a bushier plant, we don't want it to go too crazy, and that's what I want. I want a bushier plant, so I will have to do that, but at the moment I'm not going to do it because this video is already a little long. Don't want to bore y'all too much. Okay, so let me go bring my scissors, and we will handle him. Okay, so I'm back. Like I said, all I'm going to do is cut him down. Just cut him where I can. Right now is where I can start seeing where he's turning yellow. But I'm going to go ahead and just snip him at the bottom here, as low as I can go. Okay. Now I hate doing that because he is healthy. Well, it seemed like he was healthy, but as you can tell, yellowing, he was about to go. He was going to fall off. I'm going to put him back down somewhere where I can keep an eye on him. Here, for example. Here's another guy that died completely down. And honestly, I do not know what plant this is anymore. I do not. I am just waiting for it to open up, and then we'll find out together. Any other problems that I might have, I don't see any issues with any of my plants here on my windowsill. Beautiful. They're all doing fine. Another one that I'm going to have to tackle is my pothos. She is yellowing. Her leaves are yellowing. As I mentioned before, I propagated her, but her propagations didn't stick. They're dying. So I'm going to clean her up. Start from scratch. Okay, so that's another one that I'm going to have to tackle. But for now, that's all I have. And actually one thing that I've been wanting to do, because for some reason, when my rattlesnake closes up, this fella here seems to be just on his own. He will not close. He will not follow the rest of the plant. So I am just going to cut him down. Okay. Do that. See how that's doing. This is one the newest leaf unfurling. She unfurled. So everybody, again, thank you for taking the time to stay and watch my videos. I don't do much. I am not an extravagant content creator. At least not for the time being. But I do love my plants. And I've been wanting to share my journey with you guys. My kids have been saying, Mom, you do so well with your plants. Why don't you put some videos out and see what the people like? They can give you advice. And just have them follow your journey. Hopefully, fingers crossed, next week we can go and go get some new additions for the family. I think we have too many bare spaces here and there where we can fit some more babies. And I just feel like when we go to the big box stores, purchase a plant, it's like a rescue. A lot of people on Facebook Marketplace, I've noticed, they just can't handle them. They don't want them anymore. It doesn't interest them anymore. And when I see that, it does hurt me a little bit because, I mean, to me, they have life in them, you know? And not that they feel, but they're alive. They're alive. And I feel like if I can take one of these plants off of a person that no longer has time for them, it's sort of a rescue. But thank you very much for watching. This is another one of my videos. And I hope you like. I will come back next week and we will go shopping together for a new addition to our family. Bye guys. Love y'all.